300,000 employees. The federal workforce is to lose 300,000 employees, and this is led by Donald J. Trump.
Donald Trump just came on during a press conference saying that he is coming for federal workers who are Democrat-oriented. He's going to fire you if you're a Democrat, and he's using the federal shutdown as an opportunity to do it.
Donald Trump and his administration are going to illegally fire 450 to 500,000 American citizens. Now, these are federal employees that they're going to attempt to fire because there's a government shutdown, and they say there's no funds to pay them, which is absolutely not true. That has never happened before in the history of government shutdowns.
Well, it's official. The U.S. just cut into one of the systems already breaking at the seams. Over the weekend, the administration quietly fired over 100 staff from the federal agency that funds and manages our country's entire mental health and substance use system.
Let me get this straight. Trump spent $180 billion on immigration, building out ICE and Alligator Alcatraz. Last week, he sent $6 billion to a foreign country who's continuing to murder children, yet our own government shut down because they don't have $8 billion to continue running this government. Got it.
I can't believe Trump just said this.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like.
Pay attention because this is important. More than 100,000 federal workers are set to resign tomorrow in what could become the largest single-day departure in U.S. history.
Breaking news. The United States government has officially shut down, and this time it's not just about furloughs. The White House has directed agencies to prepare for mass firings of federal employees, a move unlike we've ever seen with a government shutdown before. Traditionally, non-essential workers are temporarily sent home without pay, but under this new plan, reductions in force permanent job cuts are on the table. Estimates suggest up to 750,000 workers could be furloughed right away, and as many as 300,000 federal jobs could be eliminated altogether.
Why would we have to lay off federal workers if we getting all this money from tariffs? Huh? Shutdown? Stop sign? What happened to all that money from the tariffs? Remember? The billions and billions we was bringing in? It might have been a T. It might have been a capital T. A trillion. What happened to all that money? What happened to the money from the waste, fraud, and abuse? You know? The doggy, the Doge and them. Huh? Can you please tell me why we stopping the payment of federal workers? Huh? Stop sign. Ain't we the hottest country in the world right now? Ain't manufacturers bringing manufacturing to the United States? I thought we were swimming in the dough.
The government shutdown is here, and the biggest impacts will be felt on federal workers, non-essential and essential workers like here at the airport. TSA agents and air traffic controllers are reporting to work this morning, and they won't get paid, and they won't get that paycheck until Congress passes a spending plan.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. Now, the US government shutdown has sparked chaos across the country, with federal employees suddenly facing layoff and missed paycheck. So guys, I want us to watch this compilation of videos and see how federal employees, they are coming out and react towards the government shutting down. So kindly guys, watch till the end, then I'll be back with more comment. All credits goes to the original creator of the video. I'm your host, Dash Lifestyle.
If the government shuts down, who's in charge, really? Because what if that is the point? There's this idea called the unitary executive theory, and it says that all government should flow through the president. No checks and balances, no independent agencies, just one man at the top. Guess what? It is one of the main goals of Project 2025 to centralize power in the executive branch. A shutdown like this will sort the government into two categories, essential and non-essential. Guess who gets to make the determination? The president, the executive. And then meanwhile, Congress over here arguing amongst themselves. They're broken, bitter, powerless. And he gets to say, look, only I can keep the lights on. Only I can fix this. Look, shutdown furloughs like this can let you starve agencies that you don't like. Replace federal employees that you consider deep state with loyalists. also in Project 2025. My point is, what if this is not just about budget cuts, but this is a purge under the guise of crisis? Look, the longer the shutdown drags out, the more it feels like a national emergency. And in times of national emergencies, presidents take more power, and history says it's not temporary. Since the 1980s, the United States has had 14 government shutdowns or funding gaps, whatever you want to call them. All right. I have lived through damn near all of them. I'm more concerned about this. This is how you turn a shutdown into a step toward authoritarian rule. Quiet, mostly legal, and set up as you saved the country. So the real question isn't whether the government's going to shut down, because that's happening in a few hours, baby. The question is, what's going to replace it? And are we paying enough attention?
If there is a shutdown, how many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we may do a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats.
I'm sorry, Donald Trump, but the federal government under Donald Trump has already fired 275,000 federal workers this year without a shutdown. They don't need a shutdown to do the unconstitutional, illegal, immoral, and destructive things they're doing. He is saying that simply because he wants to try to manipulate the American public into thinking, oh, it's too dangerous to do a shutdown. And you know what? It is very fucked up to have to do a shutdown. But it is also very fucked up to allow Donald Trump and the Trump administration to continue down the road that they are going down. And let me explain to you the most important part of this entire fight that no one is talking about, because frankly, Schumer and Jeffries think that the American people are not smart enough to understand it. I'm going to give you a bit more credit, okay? So Donald Trump, since January, and his administration have been refusing to spend funding that has been allocated by Congress. They have already passed allocation bills saying this money needs to be spent here, this money needs to be spent here. That is their constitutional duty and right. And the president has no constitutional powers to stop it. But guess what? He is anyway. And he has prevented spending on things like Head Start and kids' cancer research and all kinds of other things that we care about unconstitutionally. And so we still have reporters asking these dumb questions. How many people are you going to fire? Instead of saying, why have you illegally and unconstitutionally been impounding funds all year?
Don't you know that this is all by design? Government shutdowns, career threats, forced retirements, rifts, mass layoffs, all of the above. Fam, I need you to know, first of all, don't panic. Okay, I understand the feelings are real, but nobody can take away something that they didn't give you. Your life, your health, your goals, your dreams. If he didn't give it to you, he cannot take it away. I'm telling you right now is the time to double, triple down on all things positive. You got to block out the noise, because it's a lot and it's going to be more to come. It's all about mentally and spiritually managing this situation. Because I'm telling you, if it's not today, it will be tomorrow, it will be another day. This is emotional, physical, spiritual, so many levels of warfare. It's all about how you handle it right now. But if he didn't give it, he cannot take it away. Get connected to your source, get connected to community. Make sure you are staying positive as much as you can. I'm not making light of it. I'm right here in the trenches with you too. So I'm not speaking from a place that I don't know. Every day is not peachy and rainbows for me either, but I am not scared. I am not fearful. I don't care what somebody says they're going to do. I know who I belong to. I know the real source and I know the real truth. Do not panic. Okay. It's going to be so many things thrown at us. We have made it through. Listen, the fact that you can even hear this video, the fact that you can even see this video says a lot. You made it from the things that we didn't even know were coming months ago. So don't tap out. Don't crash out. Don't give in. Don't give up. Stay locked in. Manage your ear gates. Manage your heart posture. Stay connected. Know what's real. Know who's real. A lot of this is a facade, and this is a moment of time. This is a moment of time that might feel like forever, but this too shall and will pass. Don't give up. We got this. Stay up, fam. Stay up.
300,000 employees. The federal workforce is to lose 300,000 employees, and this is led by Donald J. Trump. He actually went to the Supreme Court to ask for mass layoffs of federal employees, and he got it. 300,000 federal employees to be laid off in the next coming months, in addition to what's already happened. If you did not know, Washington, D.C. right now is a disaster. It has the highest unemployment, the most houses up for sale. Business is down because of the troops. Washington, D.C. is a disaster, but so is every other state. So expect another 300,000 people in the workforce competing against you. These people have masters and PhDs. They actually went to the government to serve. They typically make less money. You can thank one man and one man alone.
We have some breaking news. Scott Bessent just made a major admission about Trump's economy. He said this administration's harsh immigration policies are the direct cause of the terrible jobs reports. Jerome Powell also said the exact same thing, but check this out.
We've actually entered this period now where there's been a slowdown in job growth. So what do you think is driving that? Some people are wondering, is this a supply issue because immigration has slowed down, or is it a demand issue where businesses aren't hiring as much?
Between deportations and voluntary deportations, have we seen 2 million people leave the workforce?
You know, that's exactly what economists have been warning about for years now, but of course the Republicans never listened. When you deport millions of workers that are doing the hardest, low-paying jobs, you don't just create vacancies, you create economic holes that Americans simply won't fill. Farms, construction sites, restaurants, and even nursing homes all depend on immigrant labor. When that labor disappears, so does output efficiency and overall affordability. People also forget that undocumented immigrants pay billions of dollars in taxes they pay into social programs that they'll never receive the benefits from. And the truth is, Americans don't want many of these jobs in general. Not because they're lazy, but because the hours are brutal, the pay is low, and the working conditions can be exhausting and even unsafe. Immigrants have long filled those gaps, keeping industries running smoothly and prices stable. And when you remove them overnight, that creates a ripple effect that impacts the entire economy. We can already see the impact: slower job growth, higher prices for produce and services, and businesses struggling to hire. It's basic economics. When supply of labor drops, the cost of labor rises, and that price almost always gets passed down to the consumers.
Donald Trump just came on during a press conference saying that he is coming for federal workers who are Democrat oriented. He's going to fire you if you're a Democrat, and he's using the federal shutdown as an opportunity to do it. This is Project 2025. This is authoritarian. This is scary. You need to be talking about this. I'm just a mom who's nervous for her daughter's future. If you're nervous too, you need to be talking about it, make videos, share, talk to your friends, talk to your family. This is not normal. The president of the United States, just came on and said he is coming for Democratic-oriented federal workers.
The Dumpty regime has pushed all Americans to the brink, and it's time for us as a collective to say, fuck you. Shut down the government to take away more health care and to prevent the files from being released. They have furloughed tens of thousands of federal workers. Some of them may not even have a job to return to. Dumpty has imposed 100% tariffs that went into effect today on prescription drugs, which is going to cost some people their lives. So I'm done asking nicely. I'm done with petitions, done with marches in the street that they ignore. It's time for America to stop participating. It's time for a massive financial strike. The media is not talking about Italy because they're afraid that we will do what Italy is doing. Stop paying your bills. Stop buying anything, and I mean anything, that's non-essential. Cancel every streaming service. Cancel every subscription box. It's time to live like it's 1990. The only expenses you should be paying are the ones that keep your family alive. Put on the table, a roof over your head, and gasoline in your car. Everything else is a luxury. Every non-essential dollar you spend is a vote of confidence for a system that's actively trying to break you. Dumpty administration is going to hold our government hostage because Democrats won't vote to take away more health care from Americans. We give them the middle finger by not giving them our money. First, get all of your money out of big banks and put it into a local credit union. Stop letting these billionaire-backed institutions use your money to fund the politicians who are responsible for this government shutdown. Secondly, this is a big one. Stop paying your taxes. Hear me out. I'm not saying evade them. I'm saying we resist. Put every single dollar that you would normally give to the IRS to a high-yielding savings account through a credit union. You let it sit. You let it grow. As a collective, we create a massive escrow account. We send a message. We will pay our taxes again when the government works for all of us. The government works for the fucking people and not a dictator, not for the Republican Party. They think they have all the power, and they're forgetting that we do. They have nothing without our money, without our participation, and money is the only fucking language they speak. It's time we show them once and for all where the power lies. With the people. Pull your money, stop spending, and hold your taxes hostage. Let's go.
Breaking news, over 100,000 federal employees are set to resign from their positions tomorrow. This is set to be the largest mass resignation in U.S. history. There are 4 primary reasons that they cite for wanting to resign from their positions with the government. The first is increased political pressure under the current Trump administration. Second is the fear of retribution. They are terrified that if they speak out, they will lose their position anyway. The third is job security concerns under the Trump administration with a lack of federal funding given to many different positions. And number 4, a general unrest and dissatisfaction with their positions currently. Multiple agency insiders have said that they felt under siege and that there are constant loyalty tests to prove their allegiance to Trump. There have allegedly been internal memos tied to the screening of political ideology and reported threats of mass firings tied to being a leftist. Labor unions representing these workers have warned about increased surveillance, especially when it comes to education, the EPA, and the Justice Department. If these employees do resign, this would be a massive fuck you to the Trump administration, but it would also mean massive delays for the average person when it comes to things like Social Security.
You guys, I'm really confused, so maybe you can help me out. How bad exactly am I supposed to feel for government employees losing their jobs in this new administration, or having to justify their jobs in front of 25-year-old kids that Elon Musk has brought in? Exactly how bad am I supposed to feel? Because you want to know how much notice I got that I was non-essential? None. No notice. In fact, on March 15, 2020, I was on my way to a shift when Governor Newsom announced that all of the bars and the restaurants in the state were closed. So that took care of that. That's how much notice I got, literally on my way to a shift. And in fact, the day prior, I had worked my last shift at my other job, which was tutoring, except I didn't know it was my last shift at the time. I lost both of my jobs overnight and didn't even realize it was happening until after the fact, because of how non-essential I was. In fact, I was non-essential for over a year, and there was no justifying my position. In fact, every single time that I tried to point out and argue for the fact that almost all of us, pretty much all of us, were going to survive COVID, but we may not survive it financially or in terms of emotional health, if you keep telling us we're non-essential and keeping us locked down, I was basically told to shove it. So there was no justification, there was no notice when it came to millions of us being deemed non-essential, even though our jobs are essential to us. So forgive me if I don't have any tears to spare for these federal employees. It sucks to be told you're non-essential, doesn't it?
For the first time ever, I regret voting Republican. Lost my job today. Was cut out by Doge. I'd had that job for 20 years. I was part of the Piper study. It's and we were so close to solving this, and now it's. I guess we will never know. It's I mean, we were studying the best way to pickle peppers and how many peppers can you get in a peck? We may never know. We just may never know now. It's I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, it's official. The U.S. just cut into one of the systems already breaking at the seams. Over the weekend, the administration quietly fired over 100 staff from the federal agency that funds and manages our country's entire mental health and substance use system. That's the same agency behind the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, the same people who keep community programs and addiction services running across all 50 states. Sources confirmed that positions from the Center for Mental Health Services were axed. These were the people who coordinated crisis grants, addiction recovery, and trauma response programs. And earlier this year, federal funding was already cut from the LGBTQ+ youth division of the 988 Lifeline, the one that handled over 1.3 million calls and texts from those kids in crisis. Tens of millions of Americans struggle with mental illness every single year, and while suicide rates keep climbing, the government is cutting the very infrastructure meant to prevent it. They call it streamlining. But what it really means is longer wait times, fewer counselors, slower grants, and local programs forced to close their doors. It means communities in crisis, veterans, teens, parents, reaching out for help and hearing silence on the other end. When you gut mental health support, you're cutting lifelines. And the silence that follows is what kills people.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have seen how federal employees, they have come out and they are hungry about this government shutting down, because this government shutting down, it is really affecting majority of American people, and majority of them, you can see they are losing their jobs, and also majority of them, they are now being paid low wages. Their paycheck, it is being reduced. So this is to tell you that right now things are not the same in America, and American people, they are now regretting for voting for this administration. So guys, I want to read some of the comment, the shocking comment, and see what people they have come out and say in the comment section. And also guys, you can share your thought on the comment section. Remember, this video, it is only for educational purposes. We are here to collect also the views of people and see what they are coming out and say about the government shutting down. So this one is saying that we are going to fire people that are of no use for the country. Okay, start with the politicians first. Yeah, you remember what DGT came out and say about firing people who have no use in the country. So this one is saying that he need to start with politicians. This one is saying that as non-American, I am just cannot understand the government has no money for government workers but have billions for is Americans first. Exactly. So the government is coming out and say there is no money to run the government, but the government has money to give out to the ICE so that the ICE can continue deporting people. So this government, it is something else. I don't want to use some of the word, but this government, the Maga people, the Republican who voted for this government, right now they are realizing that they put a wrong person in office. This one saying that this is what these people vote for. Now they wanna cry. Exactly. Those people who they are losing their jobs, those people who they are being fired, these people, they are the ones who voted for this administration. So they know they should not come out and cry and beg black people. This one saying that Trump is bragging the country has made $17 trillion. So why is this happening? He is a liar. This one is saying that they wonder how this man bankrupt as casino. This one is saying that Supreme Court is allowing this. Exactly. Supreme Court, it is allowing this. This one is saying that as an Australian, I am confused. How can a government event get shut down? Exactly. Also me, I'm confused. How can a government get shut down? You can imagine the most powerful government in the world, it is shutting down. They don't have money. You can imagine America, it is falling down, and people, if they will, the white people, if they will not be careful, there's no country there. America, it is falling and it will collapsing, and there's no country there. If they will continue like this, there's no country. This one is saying that as an Australian, I've already read that. This one is saying that this is getting bad. Exactly. What it is happening in America, it is getting bad. This one saying that Trump gave $20 billion to Argentina. He claims to have brought in $17 trillion into the American economy. Show me the money Trump spent our tax money like a drunken sailor on drugs. Alligators, Alcatraz, Ballroom, WrestleMania at the White House, transport of our military generals for no reasons, refurbishing his plane for from the Arabs, deploying military and national guard for no real reason. building a fence across our southern border. You can see how Trump is using the taxpayer money, and yet he's coming out and saying that the government is shutting down. This was saying that Maga love to see hear people suffer. It makes them believe they are winning. This one is saying that the last lady means business. I agree with her. This one is saying that that lady was right about money being the only language they understand. Imagine what we could accomplish if America simply refused to pay tax. We have had the power all along. What are we willing to do and sacrifice to make change in this country? This one is saying that is this what America being great look like? Exactly. Is this how America being great look like? Because when Donald Trump he was doing his campaign, he came out and said that he wants to make America great again. But right now we are seeing this is how he's making America great again, by people losing jobs, people losing their health care, people not be able even to afford basic necessity. You can imagine how America it is turning into right now. And some people they are wondering if it is this how to make America great again, or it is this how America it is falling down. This one is saying that $85 million in taxpayer dollar a year for him to go golfing. This one is saying that you are the only country in the whole world that shut down the government. It's crazy. You can imagine America, it is the only country right now in the whole government which shut down the government. This is saying that 70 million people vote for this, with 80 billionaires living in the United States. This one is saying that making America great again. This one is saying that healthcare is right, not a privilege. Republicans in Congress don't care about the American people, live or die. Vote them out of power in local, state, and federal elections. Your lives and your family depend on it. This one is saying that what happens to America first? I guess that was a lie. Exactly, that was a lie. So this one saying that Trump said we have 17 trillion that will pay off the deficit and lost more the man lies. This one saying that Netanyahu first, American second. This one saying that where the 17 trillion dollars said he was collected. Exactly, majority of people they are asking about the 17 million dollars. This was saying that he just added one more bankruptcy to his achievement. Yeah. So this one is saying that I hope Americans learn what happens when they become indefinitely to voting in Korea. Even elementary school graduates are interested in politics. If politics go wrong, the country will fall apart. Korea knows this all too well. This one saying that we'll told you so, Maga. Exactly. Right now, the people who are really having a meltdown, it is the Maga people. This one is saying that fire them all, stop talking about it and just do it. 70 million vote for him, 90 million say sat out the election. So give the country what they so badly wanted. Suffer, 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 all of you who did your part to bring this about. Price of food, rent, housing, all rising astronomically. Infrastructure projects that are paid for being cancelled out of the spite. Workers getting fired because of an economy slowdown. That too was your choice. Healthcare insurance are blasting through the roof and accelerating with the shutdown. Bet you would give anything to have Obama back. I dare you to get sick and show up in the ER and go bankrupt after the visit that cost as much as brand new Camry SE. If you can find an open hospital, most run on Medicaid that the Republicans cut, and 2, any parent showing up in the ER with an non-immunized child with a fully preventable illiteracy, he'll be there to remind you of how you fail your child as a parent. All this because you could not vote for the smart, intelligent, forward-looking black lady. This falls squarely on the shoulders of those who made this situation possible by either action or inaction. Suck it up like a man or woman, as the case may be. You haven't yet begun to suffer. Watch and see, I told you so. Exactly, this one is reminding them how the black people try to warn these MAGA people not to vote for this administration, but they didn't listen. So kindly guys, subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye guys.